Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, whatever time it may be where you are at. Thank you for making Kai's Sports Opinion, as well as me, a part of your day. I have my second guest on the KSO, a regular on the Not Your Normal podcast, Mr. Hayden Johnson.
Hello, everyone.
So I have a topic at the end that's just for you. Good Lord, what's he doing in there? I have a topic at the end that's just for you.
Oh, boy.
And, I'm pretty excited for that one at the end here. But
I can't wait.
I said this a while back. It was maybe a week ago. I said this to my dad, and then Aaron shows us a video of this kid making predictions.
Okay.
And there's a game I want to play as well that I played with Garrett on not last week, but the episode before, and we're going to play that game as well. So going into the 2020-2021 NFL season, right now in July, who would you take as the MVP? Because I feel like it's pretty clear cut. I feel like if you don't say Patrick Mahomes, even though I don't necessarily like his play style, Lamar Jackson, or
Have you seen the top 5, like the odds of winning?
Mm-mm.
It was Pat Mahomes, Lamar, Russell, Kyler, and Dak. They had
Dak?
as the highest odds.
Dak.
Yeah.
Wow.
They did on SportsCenter.
I'm not buying that one.
It's cool though because they're all African American quarterbacks.
That is true.
You know,
So
they're taking over. I love it.
if you ask me who I would pick to win the MVP,
I
well,
see you dancing over there, Aaron.
not really ask me, but if I had to put money on like the safest bet, first off, I wouldn't go Russell Wilson. I freaking love Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's probably
Well,
my
they
favorite
also
quarterback
they
in the
also
NFL.
always give the Cowboys one of the best odds to win the Super Bowl every year. So
Doesn't matter.
I don't pay attention to that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's what their odds were.
But the fact that Russell Wilson has never received a single MVP vote,
It's pretty wild.
DeMarco Murray received an MVP vote.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't bank on. I hope Russell Wilson wins MVP. That'd be cool. I like Russell Wilson. But if you're like safe bet, I'd go Patrick Mahomes
Oh yeah.
or Lamar Jackson.
Sure.
Who do I think is going? Well, first off, who do you think is going to win the MVP?
Probably Pat.
Do you think Patrick Mahomes?
I mean, I don't see why not.
So about a week ago, I told my dad this, and he thought I was crazy. And then Aaron shows us a video of a kid making predictions, and he predicts the same person that I said that I think is going to win the MVP. And I think it's going to be Kyler Murray for the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that because it's polarizing and different and it's crazy. I have some, not necessarily statistical evidence or whatever, but it's just based off of what has happened over the past couple seasons. So a couple years ago, before Carson Wentz gets hurt, he was in his second year in the NFL. He was going to win the MVP. He got hurt week 13, week 14, or whatever.
More than likely, yeah.
Tom won the MVP. The Eagles won the Super Bowl. So then the next year, Patrick Mahomes wins the MVP. Very next year, Patrick Mahomes wins the MVP. Because the Patriots won the Super
What
Bowl.
year is that?
Not this last season before. 2019,
So-
2018, 2019.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting my years all mixed up.
So 2017, 2018, Carson Wentz was making a run to win the MVP, and he gets hurt. He's in his second year, and Tom Brady wins the MVP because he gets hurt. So if he doesn't get hurt, Carson Wentz is winning the MVP and probably a Super Bowl. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
You never know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But then the next year, in his second year in the NFL, Patrick Mahomes wins the MVP. Then last year, in his second year in the NFL,
How many games did Pat play? He didn't play at all his
he
rookie
played
year,
week
right?
17.
Oh, so he played one game.
He played one game.
And then he just started.
And then he started
and
because
won the
Alex
MVP.
Smith destroyed his leg.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
Alex Smith was on the Redskins.
Oh, yeah, he destroyed his leg for the
Yeah.
Redskins. Yeah.
Yuck.
That was gross.
Yucky.
So then in Lamar Jackson's second year in the NFL, he wins MVP.
Yeah.
So I feel like there is a trend of
But also, none of those guys, well, Carson did, but Pat and Lamar, they didn't start their rookie year,
that is true.
which I think that helps.
I do too.
Most teams, if you're taking a quarterback high, you're starting them,
Yeah. I don't
which
think
I
it's a
think
good
can
thing.
hurt them.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good thing.
But it just,
But
it's all random.
for the longest time, through both of our lives, there's always been the sophomore slump for quarterbacks. Like your first year, your rookie year, you're learning the league. Now the whole league has film on you, so the second year you're not as good. It's your third or fourth year when you actually pop. If you're going to be consistent in the NFL or you're not. Now,
Yeah, you kind of see what you got at that point.
yeah, now it is by the end of year one, the beginning of year two, if the lights haven't came on and you haven't popped, you're out of the league. Guys like Josh Rosen had 2 teams that they
He hasn't even really got a fair shot yet.
He's
No, not a. I mean, I guess a fair shot. I mean,
opportunities with 2 different teams.
Yeah.
Arizona bailed on him for Kyler Murray, and
I don't blame him.
Miami bailed on him for Ryan Fitzpatrick first, and then Tua Tagovailoa now. The dude's had chances. If he was going to be, most guys get 1 chance. He's had 2.
Yeah.
So, but there seems to be a trend now of it's not a sophomore slump. It is a sophomore, like, that's your year kind of thing now. Like, that's the year that you come out and set the world on fire. And they add DeAndre Hopkins, who, besides Julio Jones, I think Julio Jones is the best wide receiver in football. I don't think it's Michael Thomas. They just fed him the ball. I don't think it's DeAndre Hopkins because he had a star quarterback. I mean, not a good offensive line, but he was the focal point of that offense. Julio Jones isn't necessarily the focal point of Atlanta's offense. So I think Julio Jones is the best wide receiver in the NFL, but DeAndre Hopkins is a close second. So you add that guy to that team. They draft Isaiah Simmons, the linebacker, who is a ball hawk, sideline to sideline monster. Love him. And they just have slowly bulked up their offensive line, and they literally got Kyler Murray more weapons. And Cliff Kingsbury, last year, a rookie coach.
Don't they have Christian Kirk too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fast.
And who's that running back that they have? I can't even remember his name.
David Johnson got traded.
No, not him. It was another dude.
I'm not sure. I can look up the roster.
Yeah. He was good last year.
But what I'm getting at...
Because they traded for Kenyon Drake too, and then this other guy still took carries from them.
So what I'm kind of getting at with the whole Kyler Murray thing... they also have Larry Fitzgerald still. Kenyon Drake, Patrick Peterson, Christian Kirk, Jordan Phillips. Where's this other running back at? I don't know. I don't see him anywhere. I don't know. Anyway, what I was getting at with this was that you have a rookie head coach that's now in his 2nd year. So I think things will be a little easier for him. Also, you're running a system that works for Kyler Murray, and now he's in his 2nd year in the system. So now he's got more time, even with the coronavirus, still has more time to learn the system. Mm-hmm. So I think only he gets better. So all that being said, and besides the 49ers, I don't really know in this division who... I mean, the Rams were 9-7. I think they take another step back. I think they go more like 7-9. The Seahawks are really, really, really good, but the Seahawks are going to struggle in that division, just like the 49ers will struggle in the NFC West. Because I think the Cardinals can split with the 49ers. I think the Cardinals can split with the Seahawks. I think they win both games against the Rams. I don't think the Rams are going to be that good.
Mm-hmm. So
if that being said, your team that went 5-11 now, you're at the end of the year, you're 9-6, 10-5, right there, biting, like, trying to get a playoff spot.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, you go from 5-11 to a playoff team, and he puts up insane numbers, which I think that he will with DeAndre Hopkins, with the offense that they have. What are you doing? I don't know what Aaron's doing, something off camera, but no. Whenever you add those weapons around him, you get one more year of experience, and history, the last 5 years have shown your 2nd-year quarterback is successful. I feel like that's a safe pick. And I'm the one that was saying Kyler Murray was a bust a year ago. I did not like the draft pick. I love it now.
It's hard because he's so small.
Do you think that's a bad...
And coming out of Oklahoma, you've seen what other quarterbacks have done.
Huh.
And, I mean, there's really no reason to think any different.
Do you think that's a bad prediction for me? I said it like a week ago. I think Kyler Murray's going to win the MVP.
I don't know. I still think he's got a lot he needs to work on.
Would you be surprised?
I would a little bit, I think. I mean, I don't think he's just going to come out of nowhere and be the best quarterback in the NFL or anything.
Okay. Is Lamar Jackson the best quarterback in the NFL?
No, I don't think so.
Absolutely not. He still won the MVP. The MVP is not the best player in the league. I know. It's the guy that had the best year. And I think, even statistically, I don't think he'll have the best year. I think Patrick Mahomes will have a better year than him. I think probably Lamar Jackson will have a better year than him as well. But I think it's just going from 5-11 to a playoff team and putting up better numbers.
Yeah.
That's enough.
I don't know if they're a playoff team yet, though.
I'm not sure if they are. I'm just backing
that
up my
division's
argument
hard.
Here. The division is hard.
If they were in a different division, they're not bad, but they're not good.
I don't think they're
either.
I don't think they're 5-11.
I think they're going to be a over 500 team.
Okay. With their team and with the NFC East. If you add, the Cardinals used to be in the AFC East.
Mm-hmm.
Or in the NFC East. Do you think they'd win the division now?
No.
Do you think the Eagles would win the division still?
No.
You think Dallas would win the division?
I think it'd be between Dallas and Philadelphia. Either way.
I feel like if it was a 5-team division like it used to be, Arizona's right there fighting. With the team
I think they would contend,
right now,
but I think it would still be either Dallas or Philadelphia.
I'm not really sure.
I think they still have a lot of stuff they need to work out before they're, especially in that division. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
In a different division, I'd give them a better chance, but with the Rams, 49ers, and the Seahawks, like it's those three teams are.
I don't think the Rams are that good.
I think you're going to struggle beating the Rams twice, though, which I think you'll have to. If you want a chance.
I don't know,
because I think Seattle and San Francisco.
You don't think they can split with both those teams?
You could split, but you're going to have to win both against the Rams, and I don't think they could.
Has the schedule came out yet? I think it has.
I think so.
Let's do this real fast. If it's came out, I'm going to do this. If it hasn't, we'll just roll over into the next thing I'm going to do.
Okay.
I have a game that's inspired from your favorite podcast, The Herd. It's
Jesus.
where
I apologize to anyone who listens to that clown.
It's where you take take a player or a quarterback or whatever, and basically all other 31 players at this position that are like the guy or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you take, him or would you take,
So you're basically just picking out one player.
Yeah.
And putting them against another one, and who would you take?
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Here's what we'll do real quick then.
Did they bring the schedule up?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to go me, and I'm going to go you.
Okay.
All right. So Arizona starts the season off in San Francisco.
In San Francisco?
Mm-hmm. You think it's a win or a loss?
That's a loss.
I agree. So they start off 0-1. We both agree with that. Then they play the Redskins. I'm going they win that one. You going that as well?
Yeah.
1-1. Okay, we're both 1-1. Lions, I'm going 2-1.
I'll give them a win there.
Okay, so now they're 2-1. The Panthers, I'm going 3-1. I think to beat the Panthers.
Yeah, I think so.
So they start the season off 3-1. Now they're playing the Jets in New York. I'm going to take the Cardinals again. I think they're 4-1. You're going 4-1 as well?
Mm-hmm.
So now they're already 4-1. They win 6 more games during the playoffs. Now they play the Cowboys.
Cowboys.
You taking the Cowboys?
At home? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm also going to take the Cowboys just because they're at home. So we both have them at 4-2. Now they play the Seahawks. I think coming off a loss, now you're at home. I'm going to take them here. So now they're 5-2.
I'm going to take Seahawks there.
Okay. So to you they're 4-3, to me they're 5-2. Then they play the Dolphins. Now they're 6-2 for me.
Yeah.
You going 5-3? They're 5-3. See, we're kind of on the same end. Now they play the Bills. I'm going to give them a loss right there.
Yeah, I think
the Bills can beat them. So now they're 6-3. To you they're 5-4. We're only one game off.
Yeah.
Now they play the Seahawks again in Seattle. I'm taking this as a loss. Now they're 6-4 to me.
Yeah, I think they lose.
You going 5-5?
Yeah.
Okay. Now they play the Patriots. I'm going to take the Cardinals. In Foxborough, I'm taking the Cardinals.
Yeah, I don't think the Patriots will be that great.
So you're going 6-5?
Yeah.
Okay. They play the Rams. I think they win both these games. Now they're 8-4 to me.
I'll split the Rams. Okay. I'll go.
You think they win at home, losing in LA?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'll do.
So now to you they're 7-5. To me they're 8-4. Giants, they're winning that game. They're 9-4. You going 8-5? You going 7-6?
Yeah, Cardinals win.
Cardinals. Okay. So now they're 8-5. Now they play the Eagles. They're losing that one. To me they're 9-5.
This one's tough for me. I don't know why. I think it's just because of my hatred for the Eagles. I think
take the smart ones. Take the Eagles.
Yeah, I think the Eagles.
So you have them at 8-6.
Yeah.
Now they play the 49ers again. They've already lost to them once. I said I think they split.
Yeah, I think they lose again.
You know what? Just to make the point, or just to agree with you, I'll say they lose that one too. I'll say they lose both games to 49ers. Then they play the Rams in LA. I'm taking them. Who you taking?
I'll take the Rams there.
Taking the Rams?
Yeah.
You have them at 8-8. I'm at 10-6. About what I hadn't even looked at the schedule yet, but that's about what I think. I think they're about 10-6.
Yeah.
I think they're around 8-8, 10-6.
Which is better than last year.
Yeah, but I think if they're 10-6, they make the playoffs. And I think if they make the playoffs,
it'd have to be a wild card.
That guy wins the MVP.
I think the 49ers will win the division, which then they'll have to get a wild card, and then you'll have to look at all the other NFC teams and what you like. This would have to be a segment we'd have to do like a whole thing on, because you'd have to go look at like all the NFCs and see their records, what you think they'll be, because I think they'll have to get a wild card.
So if the Packers go 12-4, I think that's reasonable. They went 13-3 and they won a lot.
I think they'll win their division.
I do too. So if they go 12-4, Eagles go 11-5, they win the division, and then somebody else goes 10-6.
Yeah.
You're a wild card team, but you
have to look with
your division.
Yeah,
maybe.
Look at the Vikings.
Yeah,
you'd look at the Vikings schedule and see what that is.
But okay,
they're usually up there, in that wild card.
If San Francisco went 13-3, and the Seahawks go 10-6 as well, now you're on who won matchups and stuff like that. So they could miss the playoffs entirely at 10-6. I'm not really sure.
They could,
but. So I did this with Sam Darnold, and I want to do this right here. I just named this topic Kyler Murray versus the world. Reminds me of Bart versus the world from The Simpsons. So I'm going to take every NFL team starting quarterback, and we're going to probably disagree a lot. You tell me if you would take Kyler Murray or the other quarterback, okay?
Okay.
So we're going to start in the AFC East. Kyler Murray or Josh Allen? You're
Kyler.
starting. You have your franchise. Your first pick is your quarterback, and it's the guy that you're going with for however long he stays.
Kyler.
I'm going Kyler as well. Ryan Fitzpatrick / Tua. Kyler Murray.
Yeah, that's tough because you don't know what Tua's going to do. So I'll go with Kyler.
Because he hadn't been hurt. I'm going to go Kyler.
Yeah.
New England. Cam Newton, Jared Stidham, or Kyler Murray? Kyler Murray. Sam Darnold.
Like
Kyler
we're starting
Murray.
new.
Yeah, like your expansion team. You get to your first picks. Any quarterback is.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? It's the guy that's going to be your franchise quarterback.
I got you.
Sam Darnold, Kyler Murray.
I think Kyler.
That one's tough for me.
Sam Darnold throws a lot of interceptions.
That one's tough for me. I'm gonna go Sam Darnold. I like Sam. Like for the future, I like Sam Darnold. But you could make the argument either way for me. You could convince me Kyler Murray. You can convince me Sam Darnold. Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray.
That one's tough because
I don't know how long Lamar is going to be able to sustain the way he plays. He does take hits.
Yeah, that's the only thing with mobile quarterbacks. You don't see a lot of them be successful for a long time.
Take Kyler Murray.
And I think that'd be the reason I take Kyler over Lamar.
Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray. We don't know what Joe Burrow is.
Yeah, that's tough.
So as of right now, Kyler Murray.
I'll take Kyler because you just don't know.
So the only one that we disagree.
That's tough.
Yeah, the only one we disagree with so far is. You said you take Kyler over Sam Darnold, and I said it's split right down the middle.
Yeah, it's not like we're that far apart. And
Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray.
Kyler.
Yeah, Kyler. Ben Roethlisberger, Kyler Murray. Kyler. Ben Roethlisberger's almost done. He's
Kyler because he's. Yeah.
Deshaun Watson, Kyler Murray.
Deshaun Watson gets hurt a lot.
Yeah, but I think we're going to agree on this one too.
I don't know. I'd probably take Deshaun.
Me too. I would take Deshaun Watson.
Even though he gets hurt.
Phillip Rivers, Kyler Murray.
Kyler.
Yeah, I agree. Garner Minshew, Kyler Murray. I like Garner Minshew.
He's okay. He's nothing special.
He's not special, but he's not. He's a franchise quarterback. They're just horrible.
Man, I guess.
You can win with him.
I don't know.
I would still take Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Ryan Tannehill, Kyler Murray.
Kyler.
Tough one. No, I'm just kidding. Kyler Murray. I would take Kyler Murray. I would take Ryan Tannehill over Dak, but Kyler Murray. Drew Lock, Kyler Murray.
Kyler.
I like Drew Lock a lot. I think Drew Lock could have a good year too.
He could.
They have a lot of help around him.
Yeah.
I think he could have a good year. I'd go Kyler Murray. Patrick Mahomes, Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes. Derek Carr, Kyler Murray.
Oh, Kyler.
Kyler Murray? Yeah, me too. Tyrod Taylor or what was his name? He just got drafted. Chargers quarterback. He played for Oregon. Herbert. Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
So Tyrod Taylor / Justin Herbert or Kyler Murray?
Kyler, because Tyrod's not very good.
Okay.
And who knows what about these
Justin
rookies,
Herbert, yeah. So NFC East, Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott or Kyler Murray?
Rain Dakota Prescott.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going Kyler Murray. I just don't
That's
like
fine.
Dak Prescott.
I know
I'm
you
not
don't.
going to. Daniel Jones, Kyler Murray.
That's for another topic,
That's
I guess.
another day. Daniel Jones, Kyler Murray.
Oh, Kyler.
Kyler Murray. Ooh, you're going to hate me. Carson Wentz, Kyler Murray.
Oh, Carson.
Yeah, I'm taking Carson
No
Wentz
doubt.
too. Yeah. Dwayne Haskins, Kyler Murray.
Kyler.
Yeah, me too. Kyler Murray. NFC North, Mitchell Trubisky, Kyler Murray.
Is that a trick question?
No, it's not. Kyler Murray. Matthew Stafford, Kyler Murray.
Matt's almost done. And he gets hurt a lot.
So Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, Kyler Murray.
Aaron Rodgers is on his way out.
Yep, I'm taking Kyler Murray. You taking Kyler
Most of
Murray?
these were taking Kyler because of old age or injury.
I would take Kyler Murray over Aaron Rodgers regardless.
Yeah.
I hate Aaron Rodgers. Kirk Cousins, Kyler Murray.
Kyler.
NFC South, Matt Ryan, Kyler Murray.
Kyler.
Teddy Bridgewater, Kyler Murray.
Oh, Kyler.
Drew Brees, Kyler Murray.
I mean, we're talking about who we're starting
Age isn't taking into
as a
account.
franchise, so
Yes, Kyler Murray.
yeah.
Tom Brady, Kyler Murray.
Kyler.
Kyler Murray. I almost said Kyler Murray. Jared Goff, Kyler Murray. I like Jared Goff, even though he's not great, but he's not bad.
Jared Goff's solid,
I would take Kyler.
but he's not like tier 1.
No.
You could say.
So you take Kyler.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Garoppolo, Kyler Murray. I don't feel like that's
Kyler.
I don't think it's that hard. This is the one that is easy for me. Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray.
I'd take Russ.
I would too. So we both took Russell Wilson. We both took. You took Dak. I didn't. We both took Carson Wentz. That's 2. We both took Patrick Mahomes. That's 3. We both took Deshaun Watson. That's 4. And so you think that there is only. You think that Kyler Murray, based on this, if you're starting a franchise, would be the 5th quarterback that you would pick to start your franchise for the future, like moving forward. He would be the 5th quarterback that you would pick if you could pick from all of them. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
And to me, he would be my 6th or 5.5 because of Sam Darnold. Or no, for me, he'd be my.
Your 4th.
He'd be my 5th because I would not sure about him or Sam Darnold.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So we both have him at about the same spot. You would just take Dak over him because you're a homer. I'm not being mean. I'm being serious.
No,
take Dak over 'cause
I
you're
do
a homer.
think Dak's better.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
This far into the careers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, because you don't know what happens in the future to Kyler Murray.
He could get hurt.
Yeah. I don't know.
Let me say this. Here's one of the things I like about Dak so much. Okay. You don't have to laugh over there. I mean, okay. Since he's been in the league, he hasn't missed one start. That's huge. That's huge
valuable.
for a franchise
Yeah,
quarterback.
it's valuable.
You want him to play. You know, you
That's
don't
the
want
knock
what
on Carson Wentz.
Yeah, that's one of the things. I like how good of a leader he is. You know, like everybody on the team has his back.
I
you
agree.
know, he has the 3rd most wins since he's been in the league, and that's big for me. You know, it's a team game.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
You know, it's not just him.
There's 52 other guys.
But I mean, look at these other quarterbacks though. You know, they don't have that many wins.
Yeah.
The
there's
only
something that goes into
people
that.
I think that's a big part. You know, it's not the whole end all be all, but it's one of those things that I enjoy about it is he wins games. You know, he had a pretty he's gotten screwed with his coaching staff. I'll say,
I agree.
and his defense, especially last year's defense
Yeah,
and his special teams, having the worst special teams and having the worst starting field position in the league.
Yeah, it's a big
That
deal.
can really, when you're having to drive 80 yards every time you get the ball, that makes it hard.
Yeah, when you don't have a short field, that
Yeah.
definitely hurts.
When you have to score 30 points or more
That's tough
for you to
too.
win a game, I mean,
Unless
you
you're
can't expect your quarterback to go out and score 40 points a game in the NFL. That's just I think you're gonna expect a lot.
unless you're the Patriots with Randy Moss or the Broncos
Right?
with Peyton
Yeah,
Manning,
like
it's not gonna happen.
it's just something. I'm not saying he's the best quarterback in the league. I'm saying I'm putting him in the top 10
Yeah,
of it.
I mean,
that's me.
I think when I did my ranking, I had him at like 11 or 12.
Yeah. For me, the biggest thing is he hasn't gotten hurt yet.
Okay.
That's one of my big things.
I was watching the other night, laying right on this couch watching YouTube, and your buddy Colin Cowherd does a segment about.
I've seen the video.
You know what I'm talking about? About
Yes.
when he goes wins, availability, all that stuff, and he says is he worth this money? And he literally takes production, wins, availability, I think leadership as well as the 4. And he obviously production's the highest, then wins, then leadership, then and then availability. And they're ranked. And he takes them based off of his ranking. So since he's been in the league, his production was like 13th, I think. His availability was 1. He was the first in the NFL in availability. Leadership was like 6 or something like that. And then something else was like 9th. I don't remember. I think, wins was like 3rd. Yeah, wins was 3rd. So he takes them into account, the percentage of the pie that they take up. And according to that, Dak Prescott should be paid like the 9th best quarterback in the NFL, which is when it's based off of contracts. Who's the 9th highest paid quarterback in the NFL?
Mm-hmm.
You know who it was? You'll love it.
I guess it was Dak.
It was Ryan Tannehill. Based on
at 9th?
Based on contracts, who's the most expensive quarterback in the NFL right now? Which it's not. It will be Patrick Mahomes, but it's not.
Right. Who is it right now? Is it Russell still?
It's Russell. Yeah. So what he did was he takes the contract. So Russell's got the biggest contract. Russell Wilson's got the biggest contract.
Right.
And then after he takes Dak's numbers, breaks them down, averages them out off of that whatever pie chart of wins, all that wins, production, availability, and leadership, he was ranked as the 9.5. He was ranked 9.5. So who
Dak was?
Yes, off all those measures.
Okay.
So then he goes, what quarterback in the NFL has the 9th ranked contract? Like, what NFL quarterback's got the 9th largest contract?
Oh, and Ryan Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill. Isn't that funny how I told you Ryan Tannehill and him are kind of similar? And after pulling those numbers, they go, yeah, it's Ryan Tannehill.
Man.
I laughed. I thought about you and laughed when I saw it. I was like, hey, it's my boy Ryan. But no, I mean, based off those numbers, yeah, he should be the 9th paid quarterback in the NFL. But there's more that goes into it than just, what do your numbers say your value is? Now, with Andy Dalton as the backup, I think your value goes down a little bit. That's just my opinion. When you don't have a backup, well, yeah, your value's through the roof because you're the guy. I mean, he still is the guy, but there's nobody behind you that you can trust. Kind of like with Romo, when Dallas had Tony, there was nobody behind him. That's why he made the money that he made.
Yeah, that's the thing with the Cowboys. They devalued certain positions so much that it kind of hurt them because they devalued backup quarterback, they devalued safety.
Yeah.
For so long,
Which we have Clinton Dix now.
Oh.
I like that move.
Yeah,
we're gonna move out of football. We talked about football for a long time. We're already, Jesus Christ, we're halfway through.
I told you if we brought up Cowboy stuff that it would end up just taking the whole thing. So let's just stay away from it.
We're gonna roll into Hayden's favorite sport, UFC. Right?
Yeah, Jorge Masvidal killed a dude in Las Vegas, and Usman killed a guy in Houston. Am I right?
Okay, Jesus. Right?
So they're wanted for murder. So if you have any information on their location, please call the 800 number right here.
So a couple UFC cards ago, Tyron Woodley was supposed to fight a tune-up fight to face Kamaru Usman for what welterweight? Yeah, for the welterweight championship, and he fought a guy named Gilbert Burns. Supposed to be a tune-up fight, whatever. Gilbert Burns clapped Tyron Woodley. All 5 rounds, murdered him. So now Gilbert Burns is gonna be the guy that faces off against Kamaru Usman for the belt, and the fight's this weekend. The fight is this. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's this weekend, right? Yeah. So the fight is the 11th this weekend, and Gilbert Burns dropped out. So it's like, well, shit. We got to find somebody to fill this slot, and it's a championship fight. It's like the main card, and they got a better matchup than with Gilbert Burns. Jorge Masvidal is going to fight Kamaru Usman for the welterweight championship this weekend. And if you know anything about the UFC, or you've listened to the Night in Row podcast and you listen to Aaron and I talk about it, Aaron loves Jorge Masvidal. I think he's a psychopath. The dude.
They're all psychopaths. They get pounded in the face for money.
Okay. In his career, he was a good fighter, not a great fighter. He would get a couple wins. He would string a little win streak, 3-4 wins, then lose. Then 1, 2, 3, 4 wins, then lose. For some reason, he went to was it the Amazon? Went to the Amazon and lived there for like a month, and came back and hadn't lost. And he's an animal.
So he got in some of that like Amazon tribe,
yeah,
juju stuff.
And his first fight back, the fastest KO in UFC history. The flying knee to Ben Askren's face literally almost killed him.
He just did the
And
flying eagle from Nacho Libre.
Ben Askren has not won since, and he's retired.
Wow.
Then he murdered. Who did he murder after that? Nate Diaz, yeah. Then murders Nate Diaz in the baddest MFer belt. Nate Diaz bleeding all over the place. They have to call the fight.
Wow.
And now he's going to fight Kamaru Usman. As a fill-in, he took the fight with 6 days. He's taking a fight with 6 days' notice.
That's pretty impressive.
That's stupid. When did I'm asking Aaron off camera? When did how short of a notice was Connor's with was it Khabib?
Oh, Khabib.
Yeah, they took it short notice, or was it? I know Connor took a fight like 2 weeks short notice.
So it was against Nate the first time.
And he lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Because that was a day.
Yeah. We'll do what?
That was a day.
Oh, he took it that day. Oh, or the day before. So when Connor fought Nate Diaz the first time,
He had to make weight.
yeah, he took that fight in 1 day.
Sounds very unhealthy.
So being able to make weight in a day is almost impossible. Being able to make weight in 6 days is insane.
Yeah.
That's going to be so hard. And if you ask me, who do you think is going to win that fight? I'd still take Jorge Masvidal. I think Jorge's nasty.
I'm taking Jorge.
Yeah, Aaron's off camera saying he'll take Jorge. I think Jorge Masvidal wins.
I love Kamaru Usman. You gotta stick by Jorge.
Do you think so? I'm gonna ask Hayden because I have a little more UFC knowledge than you, but not that much.
Little?
More. I mean, I have a little bit more.
You know
I
people's
know
names,
fighters.
dude.
I know fighters.
I don't know anybody.
Do you think that if Jorge Masvidal beats Kamaru Usman, I think if he does, he wins by knockout, obviously. Well, not even knockout, by TKO, by technical knockout. I don't think he knocks him out. I think the ref stops it by stoppage. But do you think there's more value in that belt, winning that belt, and you only have 6 days to prepare for the fight when most guys get multiple months, and you took the fight short notice so that the card could continue? And if you win, you now won the welterweight championship, and you only had 6 days to prepare. Do you feel like that has more value at all? Or do you feel like it really doesn't matter? It's just kind of like, oh, cool, we took it on short notice, and he won. That's awesome. Or do you think there's like a merit to be held there? Like,
I would say so because, I mean, to make weight, I know some of those guys go to pretty extreme measures to make weight. And to do that on such short notice and then to fight and then win,
well,
I would say that's pretty impressive.
to me,
You know?
To me, I don't even think making weight, if you're doing it in 1 day like Connor, that's insane. In 6 days, that's still crazy, but that's not even the craziest thing to me. To me, the most insane thing is you have multiple months to prepare for the person that you're fighting. So you have people that spar with you that have a similar fight style. So now you're sparring with kind of a clone of that person, and you learn different things based on this person you're about to fight. You're preparing.
Right.
You're like scouting, basically. You're scouting this person you're going to fight. You don't get to scout now. You're going in there fighting the welterweight champion with the only training that you've done is just to maintain what you do, like to maintain your weight, to maintain, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You're not scouting, you're not training for someone specific. So you got no time to train for Kamaru Usman. So now you're going in, like Aaron said off camera, pure instinct, and you also have to make a certain weight by that time. So I think it's a disadvantage, but I think it is an advantage as well for an unpredictable fighter like Jorge Masvidal, because now Kamaru Usman's been training for Gilbert Burns.
Who?
Kamaru Usman, the welterweight champion.
Mm-hmm.
He's been preparing for Gilbert Burns, the guy who's supposed to fight. He has not been preparing for Jorge Masvidal, who is a very sporadic, very unpredictable fighter. So it might even be a disadvantage for Kamaru Usman.
Interesting.
So
Gilbert Burns didn't drop out.
what happened?
He was forced out.
Oh, Gilbert Burns was forced out? Why?
Tested positive.
Tested positive for the coronavirus? Oh, wow. So he didn't drop out. So Gilbert Burns was tested positive for the coronavirus.
And now Jorge's even more upset.
Well,
He's the underdog by a lot in this fight.
they have Jorge Masvidal as the underdog? Wow.
Apparently pissed him off.
I would take, if I was gambling on this fight, I would probably take Jorge Masvidal. I know it might sound stupid because Kamaru Usman is a monster and is the champion and is deservingly so the champion. And he's clapped basically anybody that's tried to take that belt for him for a while. But there's just something about Jorge that it's almost impossible now to pick against him.
Yeah.
But all right,
We shall see on July 11th.
we will get off this topic. We should just start a UFC podcast because we talk about UFC on literally almost every podcast.
That's the only live sport really right now.
Yeah. So I've talked about a couple times about the NBA restarting, and I talked about initially how I didn't like the idea, like at all. I didn't like the idea of the NBA restarting because things could be different. And when I talked about that, I specified how it could be different because things would be opening up. It's literally gone the opposite way. But like I said, I was just wrong in the way I said it. Things are going to be different because we've still got cases. It's kind of, cases of coronavirus are starting to rise again and stuff like that. So we're reshutting stuff down. So it's still not necessarily a good idea.
Right.
Because you don't know what you're getting. If you would have done it, like I said on my first podcast I did, second podcast this I did, if you did this like a couple months ago, if you started this thing in the end of May, it's a lot different, I think.
Right.
But now I don't really know.
You're gonna have players get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even there, because when golf started, they started. I think this is their 4th week back in a row. First week they didn't have any cases. The second week they had, I think, 2 people drop out. The third week they had a couple more, and then this past week they had a couple more. And that's a sport where you don't have to get
near anybody.
Get near anybody. You don't have to be near the caddy.
You don't have
honestly.
to have a caddy.
Yeah, some people carried their own bags because their caddies. Some of them dropped out because their caddies got it. Some of them carried their own bags.
That's what I would.
You know.
I would carry my own bags.
But that's a sport. Like that's the one sport that it should work where you could have no cases, but you are.
And people got sick.
So imagine a sport when you're guarding somebody and you're literally making contact.
And sweating on each other.
And sweating and spitting and, I mean, it's going to happen. You can do everything you can, but it's just going to happen.
So I'm going to go back to it was like the first or second episode of the KSO I talked about it. But I'm going to go back and I'm going to kind of review what I said. And you tell me if you agree with me or you disagree with me.
Okay.
So I said, first off, I don't like the idea because we don't know what it's going to look like by July 1st.
Okay.
I mean, is that a valid point?
At the time, yeah.
It's still a valid point, just the opposite way that I said it. I said things could be completely open up by then, and we're doing this for no reason. Well, now things could be completely shut down by then.
Yeah.
We don't know. Then I said, if you would have done this earlier, like I said, the end of May, the beginning of June, and your season ends in September, now you're competing with prime NFL season. You're in the middle of the NFL season. You're week 5, week 6 of the NFL season. You're competing with Major League Baseball, the World Series, and the playoffs. You're competing with in the Masters, or is it the U.S. Open that's going to be around that time as well?
The Masters is the Cowboys' bye week.
Okay, so you're now competing with the Masters.
Praise.
You're now.
Well, you would be.
You're now competing with golf at the prime, and then your NBA Finals is going to be going on during World Series, or not World Series, but you got playoff baseball close to the World Series, if not the World Series. Middle of the NFL season, and the Masters.
Yeah.
That's dumb. And college football. I didn't even say it's college football. College football.
Right.
You're competing with the NFL and college football. Then Major League Baseball, then golf.
But there's talks that college football might get moved to spring.
Yeah, I heard that. But at the time,
Who knows?
At the time I said,
right,
you're competing with those people. You're not going to win.
Oh, no.
You're not
at all.
So that makes no sense either.
Even if it was just football, you wouldn't win.
Then I said, I actually vividly remember saying this, there are players that aren't going to go. This was before anybody said they weren't going to go. I said, there are players that aren't going to go because family, and you could get sick. You could get sick and your family can't see you for God
2
knows
weeks
how
or
long.
whatever.
Well, I mean, if you can go back.
You can't even go back. You have to stay there and be quarantined.
Exactly. So you could screw up the whole rest of the year and you don't get to see your family.
Yeah.
So I said there was players that weren't going to go.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that was a pretty good take? Except for the part where I said we don't know what things are going to look like. It could be completely opened up. I felt like it was a good take. And Garrett agreed with me, but he really didn't agree with me, if I recall that correctly. But now that we've gotten closer to July 31st and we've gotten to the date, there's been a list of NBA players who have said that they're not going to go. And there's been players that have dogged, like have got on those players. Like, why are you not going? There's been other players that have been like, no, it's cool. Like, I understand.
Yeah, I don't know why they're so worried about other people.
Because they're trying to win a championship, and it's key players of some teams. If you were,
but if Kyrie's not going, Brooklyn wasn't gonna
I mean,
have a chance anyways.
Kevin Durant already said he wasn't going to play.
Yeah.
So, if you were a player on a team and you thought this was your chance to win a championship, and a key guy or a role player or whatever, a player that's going to get playoff minutes tells you that they're not going to go, would you understand, or would you be like, come on, man, this might be the only chance we get to win a championship?
Yeah. I'd like to think I would be understanding of it.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know.
I know for a fact I would, because your family kind of comes first.
Right. I would
opinion.
be more worried about like my well-being first.
Yeah. I mean, like, if it was me, I'd be like, no, man, go take care of your family. Like, go be with your family. I understand. Yeah. I'm gonna go, and I guarantee you, there is going to be. I haven't read this anywhere. I'm just saying this. There's going to be people, NBA players, who are in relationships that's going to cause an issue, that they leave, that they go and play in Orlando for 3 months, or for however long they're there.
Yeah.
That's going to. I mean, that could make people stay as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like my wife, my girlfriend, whatever, my mom.
Yeah.
They didn't want me to go, and they were very upset that I even entertained the thought of leaving. So I can't.
Right.
That's going to be a thing too. But as of right now, we know that how many players? I have a list. It says here's a running list of players who will reportedly sit out from the NBA restart on July 31st. There is Thabo Sefolosha from the Houston Rockets, averaging a monster 2.2 points per game. He only plays 10 minutes a game. It's not a big one. Wilson Chandler for the Brooklyn Nets. Willie Cauley-Stein for the Dallas Mavericks. Courtney Lee for the Dallas Mavericks. Trevor Ariza for the Portland Trail Blazers. Davis Bertans for the Washington Wizards. That's a big one to me, because he's an international four that can spot up and shoot the basketball at a very high clip, and then also play good defense. So he's also an unrestricted free agent this year. So him not going could affect his free agency. So Avery Bradley from the Los Angeles Lakers, his makes sense because his son is got a weaker immune system.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, he's not going, which that's the main one I was talking about when I was like, would you be understanding? I'd be understanding of that.
Oh, for sure.
Apparently Dwight Howard is not going.
His is for different reasons though, right?
Yeah, I think he's in a
I thought his were more like social
no, his is
issue stuff.
From what I heard, and I might want to check this before I just say this. This might be incorrect. What I heard was the mother of his son, so his baby mama, she died from the coronavirus. That's what I heard. And so they're trying to figure out arrangements there with his son, which once again makes sense.
Oh yeah, I get it. For sure.
But then there's Kyrie Irving, who he's not going, and he says that it's for social reform. Yeah. I don't understand his. I understand everybody else's. If Kyrie just said, yeah, I'm not going, I think I don't want to risk it. I'd be like, okay, cool. I get that. His is social reform. And why I'm against that, or why I don't understand, I'm not against social reform, but why I'm against Kyrie Irving's.
Need to clarify that.
Yeah. Why I'm against Kyrie Irving's is because the NBA is giving you the ability to push social reform through the NBA restart. They're putting Black Lives Matter on the court. They're allowing you open access to do interviews and literally talk about whatever you want to talk about. You can put whatever you want to put on the back of your jersey. Yeah. You are literally being given the ability to use your platform and impact social reform. Right. But instead you want to talk about starting another league, being Kyrie Irving. Let's start another league and we'll... I don't understand what goes on through his mind.
For some reason, I've always seen him as the Kanye West of basketball.
I see that.
I don't know.
It makes sense. He's a...
What do you think, Aaron?
Do you think Kyrie Irving is the Kanye West of basketball? Just kind of the...
For some reason, when I think of Kyrie, I think of Kanye.
Not because he's talented. You don't see that?
Like, sometimes the stuff that he says reminds it. I think Kanye would say that same stuff.
I see that. Sometimes Kanye says something you're like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I feel about Kyrie Irving. I actually agree with that a lot. But do you have a problem with any play, like anybody going, besides Kyrie's thing, I'm not going because of social reform? Dude, use your platform. The NBA is giving you the ability, free range, to say, do, and promote whatever you want to promote.
Yeah.
I don't understand that one. But the rest of them, do you kind of get it? Like,
Oh, yeah,
you know,
I
I
get
got
it.
family or...
Definitely.
Yeah. I wouldn't have a problem. I wanted to give you this last topic. We got about 10 minutes. Yeah. Well, it's
Okay.
about 55 minutes. We got about 10 minutes left. I don't really know a lot about what Major League Baseball is doing. I know a little bit, but I don't know a lot. And I've heard a rumor about this gentleman right here.
Spill.
About not playing.
Oh, I don't know.
So what do you know and what is your opinion on the way Major League Baseball, if you know anything at all, we can look stuff up, about how Major League Baseball is restarting and about, was it Ryan Zimmerman, David Price now, and who's the other pitcher? I had it pulled up.
Forget.
Yeah, there are multiple Major League Baseball players that will not be that will not be involved in the 60-game season.
Yeah. So what all I know is they wasted our time with their negotiations because Rob Manfred said that they were never going to play more than 60 games to begin with. So I don't know why they tried to negotiate anything. They're going to do 60 games.
In 66 days, which is insane.
Universal DH for this season and next season, which I think that'll just stay.
I do too.
I don't know why
like
the National League they make their pitcher bat. And the only reason I could think they do it is just like for tradition kind of thing. Every player, you can't spit or chew tobacco, sunflower seeds, gum, or anything.
To prevent anything from...
every player has to have their own, like, donut weight for the batting circle.
The batting circle, yeah.
Everyone has to have their own individual one. But other than that, that's about all I know right now.
What do you know about the fans? Anything? Are they going to allow fans? I'm not sure.
They were going to leave that up to the states.
So more of
like the states
like a
were going to
decision.
decide, which right now Texas is open. So as far as I know, you could theoretically get tickets to go to the games. It's whether if they allow it or how many they're allowing.
I would say Texas is not allowing gatherings over 100 right now, from what I...
Now,
Yeah.
since that order came down.
Yeah.
So who knows how it's going to work. But he also only shut down like bars and tubing places.
Yeah, I saw it too. I said
So
the same thing. I was like, tubing?
So it sounds like he's only shutting down the places that like young people go.
Yeah. I'm to baseball games. Not like young, but...
Right, but sporting event stuff, they're still having that hot summer nights thing here.
Yeah, my dad went to that.
I'm going on Thursday to see Petty Theft. It's a Tom Petty cover band.
I was going to say, it sounds like Tom Petty. Well, so...
Very excited.
As far as Major League Baseball, I actually talked about this on the last one as well, the last episode. I like the Universal DH.
Oh, yeah, that should have happened a long time ago.
Besides Madison Bumgarner and...
there's a pitcher for the Reds. He's a two-way player, and he's a baller.
Okay,
he plays outfield and pitches, but he's a hitter.
Besides
like
that
Lorenzo
dude,
or something.
Besides that dude, Madison Bumgarner and
Ohtani.
What's his name?
Shohei or something.
Besides Shohei Ohtani, Madison Bumgarner doesn't even have a good batting average. First off,
he just yaks them every now and then.
He hits like a home run like every 20 games or something. What's the point in the pitcher batting at all? It's literally
just tradition, I guess.
If there's
I couldn't think of a logical reason to keep the pitcher batting.
I just kind of said on the last episode, I was like, so you want a guy that bats 150 for his career, or even lower than that probably, that bats like 125 for his career to bat 2-3 times. Then the relief pitcher's got to come in. Now at the end of the game is your DA or your what's the word I'm looking for? Pinch hitting. Now you're pinch hitting your pitchers a bunch.
It is kind of cool the strategy behind it, because if you have like your starting pitcher in and he's pitching really good, but he's kind of getting high on pitches, but maybe he wants to go back out for another inning, or you want to send him out for another inning, but he might be up to bat. Yeah. So you have to make that decision of do I leave him in and let him go up to bat?
Or do I pinch
hit
do I
warm somebody up and pinch hit,
Yeah.
Which that part's kind of cool, but that all is like a situational thing depending on what the score is, and all that.
No one wants to see the pitcher go up there and strike out.
No, but they do love to see him get a hit.
Yeah, but that rarely happens.
They love to see Bartolo Colon
Yep.
yak one over
Yeah,
left field.
but that never happens.
Right.
So, in my opinion, if there's 2 outs in an inning and the pitcher's coming up to bat, I'm going to the bathroom and get something to drink.
Yeah.
So that by the time I get back, the next
Right.
Either the second half or the next inning
Yeah.
has already started.
And plus,
starting. I don't watch
the
pitchers.
pitchers, I
No
don't
one cares.
think the pitchers really try that hard
No, they
either.
don't care. They're not.
Because then there's more chance of them getting injured.
Yeah.
So if you have your ace pitcher having to go hit and gets hit in the face or something,
So as far as the universal DH, I love that, and I agree that's probably going to stay.
Yeah.
There's been a handful of guys. I can't remember the other pitcher's name, but I know there's David Price and Ryan Zimmerman, and there was
There was a player for I think the Mets who got the virus.
really.
I don't remember if it was the Mets, but there was a player.
Well, there's a big name player in Major League Baseball, probably the biggest player in baseball, that said that he's contemplating opting out of the season, and that is the Los Angeles of Anaheim Angels' own Mike Trout.
Yes.
What do you think? I mean, do you think? First off, I don't think baseball is solely a star sport. In my opinion, the biggest star in baseball, or not necessarily the biggest star, but the most polarizing and the best player in baseball is Mike Trout. You agree with that?
Absolutely.
Mike Trout.
Nobody's close.
Yeah, Mike Trout says he's not going to play this year. You go, okay. If
I haven't heard that.
I read it the other day. If LeBron James says he's not coming to the restart, huge news.
That's Major League Baseball's fault
Yeah.
for not marketing their best player.
So, do you think that it's a big deal that Mike Trout potentially might not play? While you answer that, let me look this up to make sure he's not playing.
I mean, as far as I know, I haven't heard anything that say he's not playing. But, I mean, if he's not playing, then that's good for my Rangers. You know?
Gosh, I didn't have to. Trout said he has not made a decision on playing in 2020, noting he is playing it by ear. Angels manager Joe Madden said he has spoken with Trout several times about his playing options and acknowledges the outfielders concerned. How could you not, Madden said, per USA Today.
Right.
Yeah, see, Angels Mike Trout unsure he'll play because of COVID-19.
I mean, I know he's at their camp right now.
Yeah.
I know he's there, so, I mean, he's not fully out on it, at least, right now. I mean, playing it by ear, he might just be trying to see, what they decide, where they're playing, if they're going to try to do something like basketball's doing, how they're going to get tested, how, are they getting tested every day? He wants to make sure that they're putting all the stuff in place to make it as safe as possible,
Yeah.
And I don't blame him there.
I don't either. Do you think it's... How do I say this? Do you think it's a big deal if Mike Trout doesn't play?
For big baseball fans, I would say yeah.
I mean...
But it's different. I would say baseball's different than basketball.
In football.
Because LeBron gets the ball, every time. You're only seeing Mike Trout making a couple of plays in the outfield and then hitting 3 or 4 times a game, So it's not like there's a spotlight on him directly the entire game, every game.
Okay.
But marketing him outside of baseball, the MLB hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
Whether that's on them or if it's him, because he should be the face of baseball.
Because he should be. He's the
But
best
I
player in the
mean,
league.
the dude doesn't do anything. You don't ever hear from him ever on social media or anything. He doesn't do anything, it seems, except go to the Eagles football games.
I feel like in Los Angeles, Mike Trout could walk into a grocery store and get milk, and more than half the people in there wouldn't know who he was.
Right.
Because baseball's done such a piss poor job of promoting the face of their league.
Yeah.
So, do you think the average fan would really care that much if Mike Trout didn't play?
No.
Do you think that it's a problem that nobody would care if Mike Trout didn't play?
Yes.
I do too.
Because this guy is arguably will be the best baseball player to ever play. I mean, it's insane how good he is.
Hadn't he only won the American League Player of the Month once or something like that?
I don't know. I think he's got 2 MVPs though.
He does, but he's only won the I think it's only a couple times, maybe once that he's won the American League Player of the Month. Hold on. I'm going to Google this and then we'll wrap this up. Mike Trout. Oh, I spelled his name wrong. Mike Trout, American League. I can't spell.
I mean, I remember watching that guy play in AA.
Player.
It was insane.
Who do you play for?
The Travelers, Arkansas Travelers, which I think that's the double A team for the Angels.
Let's see. Let's see Mike Trout's awards real fast. I don't know what that is, but I can't
That's
play
an
it.
ad.
Yeah, I can't play that. He's won the Player of the Month once.
Yeah.
Nope, twice, 3 times, 4 times. He's won Player of the Month 4 times in his career.
Yeah.
Seems a little low, doesn't it?
I'm not as worried about those.
That seems insanely low.
Yeah, you'd
He
think
should-
he'd have more, but
I feel like with Mike, how do I say this? I feel like Mike Trout and LeBron James are very similar in you get voter fatigue. I mean, he's only
Yeah.
won 2 MVPs, but it's kind of like, man, let's vote for somebody else. The dude's clearly the best player in his
but
sport.
like
Let's
you
vote for
said, the
somebody else.
MVPs don't
It's
normally
not
go
necessarily
to
the best
the
player.
best player.
What would the Angels be without Mike Trout? They're already not very good. They would be just take him off the team.
And
Dumpster fire.
he took a discount.
Yeah.
On his contract.
And they don't get him any help.
Why I say discount?
Yeah, it's still huge.
It was still the highest ever at a discount.
And I mean, now Gareth Cole makes the most money, right?
No.
Mike Trout still does?
Maybe yearly, but overall contract, Mike Trout's is higher.
Jesus.
Because Mike Trout, I think he took like a 12-year deal for like $420 million. And on the open market, if he was to try to get top dollar, there were people saying he could have got like around $700 million
For 12 years?
for a long time. All guaranteed.
I'm going to go play baseball.
Dude, the dude is nuts.
Baseball is a sport to play.
Baseball for money, yeah, you can make a lot of money
Yeah.
because everything's guaranteed, and you can play for so long. You can get your contracts,
Like
You know.
a 12-year deal.
Yeah.
Like the
Bobby Bonilla.
was that the dude for the Mets, isn't it? Where they paid that dude for like 20 years, didn't they? Who was
They're
that?
still paying
They're
him
still paying him
till 2035.
Oh
They got to
my
pay him like
Lord.
1 point something million.
every year.
And you know what's funny?
He hadn't played since like 2003 or something.
When they could have bought out his contract for $5 million, but now they're paying him like 20 something million.
It's the worst contract in sports. That's
Tough.
That or the Russell Westbrook contract. 2 worst. Russell Westbrook's is bad.
Yeah,
It's pretty bad. Not as bad as paying a dude for 20 years. That's horrible.
man, that guy's the greatest finesser of all time.
As far as the Major League Baseball, like kind of what they're doing, I had no clue that Rob Manfred said that they were never trying to negotiate anything. It was 60 games.
Yeah, he said
So
regardless
why
of
are
how they
you-
went,
Why are you arguing with the Major League Baseball Players Association then?
that's why everybody's pissed off and
Yeah,
hates him.
Yeah.
He's the worst.
I don't think he's horrible.
Screw
I
you,
don't
Rob
think he's
Manfred.
bad. I don't think he's bad.
He's not very good.
But
Out of all the commissioners, he's the worst.
I disagree with that.
Who's the best?
Adam Silver. Out of the top like 4 sports, I like
Okay,
Adam
hold on,
Silver.
hold on. Of Major League Baseball, hockey, football, NBA,
If you can name me the hockey commissioner,
Soccer.
I'll give you $1.
soccer, and UFC.
I don't know those.
I did this.
I know
Was
the,
it
I
the-
know the 3.
Which episode was the second episode? Second episode of the third episode. Second episode of the KSO. I ranked the best president, CEO, whatever
Really?
of you haven't listened to this podcast, have you, scumbag?
I've been busy.
And I didn't put Rob Manfred that low. I also didn't put Roger Goodell. Like I didn't rank them, but I just said what I thought about him.
hmm
I don't think Roger Goodell's horrible.
I don't either.
I still don't think Rob Manfred's horrible. But you know who I said is the best president, CEO, whatever of all sports?
Soccer.
Dana White, UFC.
I was just meaning like the big 3, I guess.
Oh,
Those are the only ones I know too.
of baseball, basketball, and football. Yeah, Rob Manfred's the worst.
Yeah.
But I think Roger Goodell and Adam Silver are very good commissioners.
Yeah, I like Adam Silver because he seems to do a lot of stuff for the players. Like he wants their input, sort of,
Yeah, he's
especially with the stuff going on right now. He's like been real.
He's a player.
Like, he wants to- yeah.
He's a player.
He gets
president.
along with the NBA PA.
Well, he understands that's
Their
not-
relationship's way better. The MLB PA and the commissioner
it's not as good.
don't get along at all.
Well,
They're the worst.
Adam Silver understands that those are the people that make me the money, not the owners.
Yeah.
That guy does.
Right.
LeBron does. Chris Paul
Mhm.
does. Yeah, those guys make me the money.
Yep.
James Harden. So, so do you think baseball's done a good job at all, or do you think they've done a horrible job? That's literally was his last topic. Has baseball done a good job?
It's been very disorganized, but if they get to play, I mean, if all this stuff works out, then they just basically wasted everybody's time with
For a month.
when he says that, you know.
Yeah.
So they didn't do a good job because of that, you
Yeah.
know.
Also, 60 games in 66 days. That's insane. But
Yeah.
I mean,
They've been
there's doubleheaders and back-to-backs all the time in baseball. So
yeah, there's been talks of them shortening the season anyways,
yeah, I think they should.
which, you know, 162 games
I s-
over 4 months.
Well, I
Right.
initially said you take that, you either cut it in half or you add 19 games to it. You either go 81 games or you go 100. Because now,
Yeah.
with the 60 games, there is such a sense of urgency. If you start 1-9,
Yeah.
you're done.
Well, the thing is with baseball, you can win. You can go on a 15-game losing streak
Early in the season.
early in the season, and you know those games really don't matter.
You can't do that now.
You know, now it's every game, which I think it'll make it more exciting to
Exactly.
watch. You know, because there's times I'll watch it. I won't watch all the Ranger baseball games, and I love the Rangers, guys. The Rangers are my team. I bleed red and blue. Okay.
Oh, yeah, you do.
All day. All day. Like, you think I like the Cowboys? Y'all don't even know about the Rangers. And I'm not watching every Ranger game
But
because
now-
there's
but-
162 of them.
But if there's 81 of them or 100 of them on a consistent basis,
I'll
there's
watch
60
more.
you're watching all of them.
If there's 60, I'm going to be sitting down watching all of them.
Yeah, because there's a
'Cause they
sense of
all matter.
urgency. Yeah, because if you start off 1-9, 1-10, 2-14, you're done. You're
Yeah.
not unless you come on. You have some like Oakland A's, like whatever year that was, the Moneyball Oakland A's,
Right.
rattle off 21 in a row or something or whatever the record is. You're not coming back. You're done.
Yep.
But I can't read that from here. My eyes are getting horrible.
I think it says Kylie is small day.
Kyler is okay.
Kyler is
I think
wow.
we're gonna wrap this up right now.
you're popular. You
Yeah.
got a lot of
Yeah.
days.
I think we're going to wrap this up right now. Hayden, where can all the lovely followers of the KSO find you if they want to reach out?
Oh, you can find me on Twitter, HaydenJ452.
Okay.
That's it.
No Snapchat?
No Snapchat.
Facebook?
I'll
MySpace?
give you my WhatsApp if you want.
MySpace?
No.
Tinder? Grindr? Anything?
You can follow me on my OnlyFans.
Okay. You can you can follow me at KylerDrum21 on Snapchat. Every Tuesday and Friday I post the links to the NYNP, our main podcast right behind me here. What?
No, you don't.
Shut up. Every Monday, I post a link to this one on my
Expose
story.
him.
So if you want to have easy access to this podcast, follow me on Snapchat, swipe up on my story. It's right there. Also, every Wednesday, we have an Academy of Conspiracy podcast that comes out. So if you don't follow the other two podcasts, go check out the Not Your Normal podcast and the Academy of Conspiracy podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, or wherever you get your podcasts. Also, for all the podcasts we have here at iFilm Centers Production, we have a Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/NYNP, you can join our Patreon. It is a one-time payment. You can join the average tier, which is $5, the spooky tier in honor of the Academy of Conspiracy, which is $6, or the normal tier, which is $7. Don't be an average spooky person. Be normal. And if you join the Patreon, like I said, one-time payment of $5, $6, or $7, you get a bonus 40-minute episode with my dad as the guest. You get the first about 12 to 15 people that join the Patreon will get a free iFilm Cinema, Not Your Normal Podcast shirt sent to them. We've got about 12 to 15 left. So the first people that do that join the Patreon and show us that they've joined the Patreon, get a free shirt. Also, on July 16th, we got some new merch coming out. So be on the lookout for that at ifilmcinemas.com. Also, go check out iFilm Cinema Gaming on YouTube. Go check out, like I've already said, the Academy of Conspiracy, Not Your Normal Podcast. And I think that is a wrap. Thank y'all for listening. Oh! If you or a loved one suffers from depression, get help.
Wear a mask.
I end every episode with that, by the way.
Oh.
Thanks for listening. You got any advice?
Wear a mask.
All right. We'll see you next Monday.